It little profits that an idle king, by the still hearth, among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet in dull, unequal laws unto a savage race, that hoard, and sleep, and feed, and know not me. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone, on shore, and when through scudding drifts the rainy Hyades. Vex the dim sea. I am become a name. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least but honored of them all, in drunk delight of battle with my peers far on the ringing plains of windy Troy. I am a part of all that I've met, yet all experience is an arch wherethrough gleams that untraveled world whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life. Life piled on life were all too little, and of one to me little remains. But every hour is saved from that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things. And violet were, for some 3 suns to store and hoard myself, and this gray spirit yearning and desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star, beyond the utmost bound of human thought. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the isle, well loved to me, discerning to fulfill this labor, by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail in offices of tenderness, and pay meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work, I mine. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail, there gloom the dark broad seas. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine and opposed free hearts, free foreheads, you and I are old. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Death closes all, but something ere the end. Some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes. The slow moon climbs. The deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to see a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order, smite the surrounding furrows, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset, in the bass of all the western stars until I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles, and see the great Achilles whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but still strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Ulysses is a poem written by Alfred Lord Tennyson, one of the most renowned poets of the 19th century. The voice of the poem is an old war hero and king, and how he yearns to escape his royal duties and venture into the unknown world unbound by society. I find this poem very impactful, but what makes it more interesting is the story behind it, the sorrow, the grief, and the tears that were put into writing this poem. Alfred was born on August 6, 1803, in Somersby, Lincolnshire, England. His early life was tough. He was the eldest of 12 children belonging to George Clayton Tennyson, his father, and Elizabeth Fitch Tennyson, his mother. Alfred's father was a highly educated man. He was a doctor and a clergyman. However, he suffered from alcoholism and violent mood swings. Alfred's mother served as a beacon of stability, keeping the house together despite her husband's poor financial decisions and abuse. In 1827, Alfred went to study at Trinity College, Cambridge at the age of 18. There, he would meet the man who would inspire some of his greatest works, such as Memoriam AHH and, of course, Ulysses. This man was Arthur Henry Hallam, a brilliant student who would go on to become Alfred's closest friend. However, in 1833, Arthur suddenly died while traveling in Vienna, Austria, because of a cerebral hemorrhage. He was just 22 years old. This event struck Alfred hard, sending him into a deep depression. In response, his poetry became a way of processing the pain of losing his friend. This is when Ulysses was written, shortly after Arthur's death in the same year of 1833. The speaker of the poem is a man by the name of Ulysses, as you can tell by the title. Ulysses is an allusion to the Greek war hero and king of the island of Ithaca, Odysseus, from the Odyssey by the ancient Greek poet Homer. The poem is written in a dramatic monologue, or rhymeless scheme. It's more of a continuous speech, where many of the lines overlap on each other, and enjambment can be seen on many occasions. Examples of enjambment can be seen in this line of text. This labor, by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people who through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. In Alfred's Ulysses, the poem opens with the visual of Ulysses in his kingdom frustrated with his idleness, and the fact that he has to rule over a people that don't have the same free spirit mindset as him, and how his royal status chains him from adventuring into the world.
It little profits that an idle king, by the still hearth, among these barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I meet in dull, unequal laws unto a savage race that hoard, and sleep, and feed, and know not me.
He then mentions how he yearns to live his life free, adventuring in the world. This is because Ulysses is not just a king, but he's also a warrior. He talks about how he sailed the seas, seen different cultures and people, and even fought in the Trojan War. Much have I seen and known, cities of men, and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least but honored of them all, and drunk delight of battle with my peers far on the ringing plains of windy Troy. However, after returning from the Trojan War, he becomes restless and frustrated with the fact that he's sitting idly by as a king, letting his life slip away as he ages. In the second stanza, Ulysses decides to leave his crown with his son, Telemachus, so he can venture back out into the world with the little time he has and experience life to the fullest. His son, unlike him, has the desire to fulfill his duties as king and servant of the people. This juxtaposes Ulysses' philosophy of not being bound by any man or thing. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail in offices of tenderness. In the third and final stanza, Ulysses is speaking to his fellow sailors, pointing out the dark sea which serves as a symbolism for the unknown future. And the boat puffing its sails serves as a personification, as if the boat is calling towards him. Ulysses acknowledges the fact that him and the sailors are no longer at their peak. But even in the face of the unknown future, he believes that it's never too late to follow your dreams. And if he's going to die, it's going to be on his own terms, doing the thing that he loves, being himself. Not a king, but an adventurer at sea. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order, smite the surrounding furrows, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset, in the baths of all the western stars, until I die. In all, the poem Ulysses serves to embolden any who listen, and encourage them to live life to the fullest, because death is inevitable. Alfred Tennyson wrote this poem about forging into the unknown future as a way to embolden himself too. This is because he was scared of the future as well. Since his best friend Arthur Hallam died, he had no idea what future had in store for him. And in response, to light a match of hope in the sorrow and grief that he was drowned in, he wrote Ulysses, a poem about not just living life to survive, but living life to live.